Do you collect the $200 when you land on go, or do you have to pass it to get the 200?
No, man. I didn't collect shit, but more shit to do. I talked to you earlier. But what's funny is I had to go talk to a dude about a particular unit this morning too, and y'all know how busy I was. I mean, we've been slow. This morning I was wide open, and anyway, I was just standing there and was talking to that guy, and he's like, "Dude, you look like you were about to explode." And I'm like, "I'm just in go mode, dude. This standing here waiting is killing me. I'm in go mode." I was like, "Here recently, you've been seeing me, and we're not under the gun. I've got time mode. I'm in go mode today. I'm not,
Yeah. Man,
wired up.
I wish some other things were in go mode, like packages.
Is anybody here? I can't see. I haven't seen a comment yet.
I don't know if anybody's here. If they're not, then I'm penalizing all of you.
You said penile.
Penile. I'm peniling all of you.
Peniling all of you. We're going to penalize.
Hey, if they're not here yet, I'm just going to sit here and spray that easy cheese into these mouse traps and go put them all over my house before somebody shows up.
Hey, there. I see some comments
D,
now.
what up?
D's here.
D, what up?
Well, see, we were tinkering earlier, and he's like, "Can you still see the comments if I do this?" And I'm like, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, we don't have any comments yet, but the little chat box, I can still see that. So for a second, I was wondering, did he turn me off, or I like it when he turns me off?
When have I ever turned you off, except for that one time I farted? I mean, other than that.
Well, goddamn, Kenny, a doctor's visit and some Correctol might fix that shit. Fuck.
Dude, do not take Senecot before going to a doctor's appointment ever in your lifetime, dude. That's a whole nother story that I'm not going to talk about. But that'll be discussed in the after our party over at Discord one day, but don't ever do that. In fact, it was the only time I ever took Senecot because my wife told me to take it. And then I ended up calling the doctor because I still wasn't feeling good. I went to the doctor, and that Senecot kicked my motherfucking ass all over that doctor's office.
I don't even know what that is. What is Senecot for?
Dude, it's for when you're constipated, and it's like this all natural shit. And I had gone to the hospital, and they put me on Vicodin. They put me on Vicodin for 3 days after I hurt my leg, right? And so I was a little backed up, but I told the doctor I just don't feel good. And she's like, "Try this," and I'm like, "All right."
JP. Well,
I go in there, and I'm sitting in the office, and that stuff kicked in, and I was. Yeah. Oh, remember we discussed that rat trap on the deck?
You mean that rat trap?
Yeah, that rat trap on the deck.
I remember that rat trap.
I remember the way you described it. Yeah, it was the same thing at the doctor's office.
Like a murder scene, huh? Dude. Oh God. This poor nurse, I don't know if I've told this story on here before, but I've told it in our Discord. But I'll just say this: that poor nurse, when I had that stomach virus, of course, I wasn't thinking about the fact that she had been mean to me when I did this. It was that whether or not she even existed was irrelevant to what happened. But I go in there, and I mean, I am fixing to murder this poor porcelain. And all of a sudden, I got to start puking too, which pulls me off. So I'm blowing. Oh God!
All over the place.
That shit. That was a yearly occurrence when I was in college. You'd get that stomach bug about once a year, and it was awful, dude. It was awful. And
wait, what you said? Yearly,
I'd been already puking
partying really hard the night before.
No. Okay. Oh God, no. My poor roommate had to change because I stopped by the infirmary on the way to my dorm. And they're like, "Look, unless you're already sick and throwing up, we're full. Go back to your room, check back with us. Maybe we'll have a bed open or whatever." Mm-hmm. And I mean, the second my door closed, I started. My roommate had to dump my little garbage can and told him how many times that night. And I was so weak from puking all night. He fucking Malcolm was his name, dude. Bless his heart. Motherfucker literally carried me down the stairs of our dorm. Across the way, because the infirmary was actually just right across the little area there from where we were at, right? Yeah. And Dude, that same nurse, she opened the door and said, I told you, if you're not bought. And Malcolm set me down and I looked, and as I felt it start to swell, I looked down and all I saw, you know how nurses wear those the nursing shoes, I call them.
Yeah.
Most of them don't anymore. Now they're wearing sneakers and all that other kind of bullshit. But back in the day, they wore those thick padded nursing shoes.
Yep.
And I looked down and they were obviously a brand new pair. I mean, shiny. And
just unloaded.
There shouldn't have been anything left in me to puke. And then, like, she says, well, come on in. And I have to go to the bathroom, and it starts coming out of both ends. And especially in that situation, you can't get both of them in the hole. So I made that poor woman a bad mess.
Whoa, did you just say you can't get both of them in the
hole? You're sitting on the commode, the hole. Yeah. If you're sitting on the commode, if you're shitting on the commode, you can't. And if you're puking in the commode, you can't shit in it. So one of the two, and it just so happens that I was retching so hard and leaning so far over that I was actually getting neither in the hole. That's the sickest I think I've, as far as stomach. I don't know.
I never been.
My daughters were in
elementary school.
Like that. They brought home, oh God. Our daughters brought home a stomach bug one time, and it went through the whole family. My mom and dad got it. Jocelyn got it. I got it. Everybody got it. And the funny thing was, the girls got over it in like 2 days. The rest of us were like this for like 6 days. And we were like, if you ever start feeling queasy at school again, stay your fucking ass there. We will make other arrangements. Do not bring that shit home.
The only time I ever remember being in the hospital and throwing up like that was I got hit by a car on a bicycle and flipped up like 10 feet over the car and landed on the concrete. And I had what they call a severe massive concussion. And dude, every time I came to, I was blowing chunks wherever I was. The hospital parking lot, in the ambulance, in the parking lot, getting in my friend's car, back in the
You were severely concussed, weren't you?
It was bad. Like it was the kind of shit where they said, like, don't let them go to sleep afterwards because bad stuff could happen, kind of concussion. But I had a funny story with a nurse one time. Well, two nurses.
Wait a minute now. What kind of story?
No. That story is two bartenders and won't get told here. But the two nurses was I had a knee surgery where I went in and it was supposed to be just an hour and a half long surgery and it turned out to be 8.5 hours. The knee was way worse than they thought.
Same thing happened to my ankle.
And so when I came to, I sat there and I'm like, ow. And the nurse goes, hang on, I'll get you something for the pain. And I was like, okay. And she came over and shot me up with something. And I said, whatever. And then I lay back down. I was still going in a consciousness anyway from the anesthesia, right? And then a few minutes later, I sat up and I'm like, it fucking hurts, right? And this other nurse comes over and looks at the chart and goes, okay. And then she takes off and goes and gets a vial of the shit and shoots me up again. The first nurse grabbed the vial but didn't write anything on the chart. She had to go through the vial away and was going to come back and write it on the chart. The other nurse just shot me up. My wife walks in. The doctor's like, I'm out cold. And the doctor's like, he should be awake by now. And the one chick goes, I just gave him a shot of morphine. And the other chick goes, I just gave him a shot of morphine. And the doctor's like, and my wife's like, so what do I do next? Well, there's a prescription to be filled. You might as well go downstairs to the pharmacy. He'll be up in a little bit. Like, I was out of it. Oh my God.
When I woke up from my stomach surgery, I think like day 2, since they gutted me pretty good, and I usually got a pretty high pain tolerance, but man, I was hurting in a pretty bad way, and I rung a little buzzer for the nurse, and I said, look, I'm not the kind of guy that's normally going to ask for this, but I'm going to have something else. And it was taking everything I had in me not to scream.
Right.
And she goes, all right, baby, we got you tonight. She goes in there, and I don't know what she hit my IV with, but she put that shit straight in the IV, and it was like, I was just in agony, and it was like, and I was gone, man. I was gone.
Hey,
but
man,
no, dude, when they did my ankle, instead of putting me out, I should have never agreed to this business. Instead of putting me out, they actually gave me a fucking epidural and then just gave me something to go to sleep.
Oh, hell no.
So I wake up and they've got my ankle all up in the air and doing, I don't know what it's a hazy memory, but he was like digging in it or doing something with my ankle.
Put swords in there.
And I think I remember somebody saying, "Oh, he's awake." And as soon as I remember, and I was gone again. So I wake up and, the epidural numbs everything from the waist down pretty much. And, well, my fucking toes is hurting. My fucking ankle is hurting.
Like a motherfucker.
I can feel my knees. I can feel my thighs. I can feel everything but my dick.
Oh, Lord.
I'm starting to get paranoid. that shit's not going to come back.
Combination, yes.
And this persists for a while. And I asked a nurse. And she's like, "Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing." And it's getting to the point. I've been waiting for them to let me go. And I'm miserable sitting there. The cast is on it. I'm ready to go, man. And she comes back in there, and at this point, it has reached a fever pitch with me, man. I am really starting to wig out that I am not going to get the sensation back in my penis, right? And she comes walking there, and I said, "Look, I need to know something." And I was like, "What? Is that normal?" Because I didn't feel that shit. I mean, what kind of timetable we're talking about here? When is this going to come back to life? Right? When, and that woman was laughing at me so hard. And finally, after a while, I started feeling especially tingles after the hard as I slapped that motherfucker. And that nurse came in there. She set a pair of crutches in front of me. She said, "Now, when you can walk on these, you can go." I was
out of there.
I was out of there, dude.
Later. Oh my God. I ain't trying to wake up during those. I always laugh at those videos of those kids and go and get like their wisdom teeth pulled, and they're all talking that crazy crap in the car afterwards. I don't know what I was an adult when I had mine taken out. I don't know. I was an adult when I had mine taken out, and if I said some random shit, I probably said shit like that anyway because I was like a foul mouth back then. But like those things are funny, but I do not want to wake up. It was bad enough the first time I had my knee scoped that the doctor gave me a DVD to watch it. And I was like, "Oh, yo, no, I did not need to see what you were doing in there." Like, I'm not cool with that. Like, just get the shit fixed and be done. I had
hold on. D, I already knew my leg wasn't going to be amputated. My leg was as hurting as it was in a cast. It was dealt with. That was no longer a clear and present danger. Now, when I broke my ankle, I promise you I wasn't worried about my dick because I tried to get up and walk and I looked down and like the side of my foot is touching the fucking side of my leg. It's just like this. Then I wasn't thinking about it then, but once I knew that was fixed, I just couldn't help but notice I couldn't feel it. And then that became the clear and present concern.
I got a high tolerance for pain, but my dentist is about to kill me if this keeps going on, man. I had an appointment. Nobody wants to go to the dentist. You never do, right? No. But I'm just like I'm at the point where it's like get it done, right? So I had
also kind of getting in that time for me too. I got some shit I got to get done, and it's got to get done.
I had an appointment scheduled to get fillings done and to get my crown done today, and then tomorrow was like some cleaning shit, right? And then today, through no fault of their own, there was 3 big ass accidents on the freeway, and there's two roads that come in, and the freeway was closed on both sides, so nobody was getting into Hollister, and the dentist doesn't live here, so the dentist didn't show up. So they said, "We'll reschedule your appointment to tomorrow at 2." Tomorrow at 2 got rescheduled till the 27th. And then I just got a call that my cleaning has to be rescheduled too. And I'm like, this is like watching a package being delivered on Amazon right now. Like, it's going to get their win. It's going to get their win. It's going to get their win. It's going to get their win.
Why is it? Wait, I sent that to Alabama. Why the fuck is that in fucking Siberia? Dude, it's funny you bring that up because we were talking about this earlier as being a pet peeve. Anybody trying to ship something right now is probably got a headache on their hands. That time of year, shit's backed up. Look, I worked in shipping for a minute, and this time of year, it is fucking dumb It's dumb, is what it is. It's dumb. Mistakes happen.
Yes,
Oh,
Shauna.
take this
Yes,
shot.
Shauna.
But
Here we go.
with that said, I don't like. All right, when I was in college, if I mailed something, back home to my folks,
Shauna,
it went pretty much straight to my folks.
Paris.
Via post office straight to Macomb. Now, if my parents mailed me something, it would go to New Orleans, to Memphis,
working last
to somewhere in Texas, then back to Shelby, then to Cleveland, Mississippi. And I'm like, why in the fuck's I got to do that? And now it's almost gotten to be a game. When we ship where I work, when we ship these submittals and stuff to potential clients and bids and shit, it's gotten to be a running gag to track that shit. And let's say it's going to Memphis, and you're like, why in the fuck is it in Pensacola? Why did it even go that way? What? But their routes for their man, it's maddening. Somebody was on some bad drugs.
It's crazy now because I had fortunately it wasn't for any presents that I was sending, but I had a couple times where I had packages that I was sending, and it was like it said it was going to be delivered on this day, and then that day it says there's a delay. So when is it going to get there? Because I'd kind of like to tell the person that they have something coming,
Right.
And now it's like I was sitting there watching stuff, and it's like I had these. I blew out my my Bluetooth headphones, so I had to buy new Bluetooth earbuds, right? And I ordered them from Amazon, and they're supposed to be coming. And it's like, okay, they're going to be here on this day, and then that day it says they'll be here the next day. And then the next day, it's like, it's going to be here between 1:15 and 3:15. And I'm like, all right, great. And then it's going to be like, oh, it's going to be there between 3:15 and 5:15. And then all of a sudden, it's like, it's going to be there by 10 p.m. And I'm like, what in the fuck are they doing with my shit? Right? Like, is the town small? Did they go the opposite direction? What did they do? But it's funny. With some of the stuff, depending on your area, if you purchase from Amazon, when you go to track the package, it will literally tell you how many stops away it is from the house being delivered to.
Right.
Other stuff is just like it says it'll be there, and you click on update, and it's like, whatever. Stay safe. What? So, if y'all are going through delays in shipping, just understand you're not alone, and we sympathize. And there's a thing where Amazon says, and if it's not there by this day, you can get a refund. Wait until that day and at midnight say refund, because oftentimes it gets delivered the next day and they give you your money back and you get the product.
The problem for me that I'm having right now, as you know, there's on our channel, there's been a Secret Santa thing going.
Yeah.
Or in our Discord. And I said that shit a minute ago.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't heard nobody balk up and say, hey, I got it. So I'm like, and I don't want to ruin the surprise by asking the person, hey, just checking, you hadn't got that, because the tracking I have for it, lost track of it a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yep.
I try to pull it up, and it's like I'll get the sorry that information is unavailable, or something's wrong with the server. I can't. My shit.
So can I just
wrong?
Can I just say, if you want successful shipping at this time of the year, I noticed that World of Bongs does really good. Don't ask why. If you know, you know.
Look, man. On any average day during Christmas, I worked essentially. It was an old shop, an old metal shop, but they fucking Mr. Ty had that on this warehouse, and he was one of the first online tool companies. They beat Lowe's and Walmart and everybody to the punch, and we would fucking move, between power saws and drills of all different brands and shit like that. What FedEx would do is they'd drop an 18-wheeler trailer, and at the end of the day, we'd load that bitch with everything that we sold that day and boxed, and our boxers got ready to ship and the whole 9 yards. Some of it has to go by post office, some of it has to go by UPS, but the vast majority is FedEx would just park that trailer. Next morning, they'd pull in there, drop us another trailer, and grab the one that we filled and go. Now, during Christmas time, let's say it was about average during the slowest part of our year to move 300 units. Then that could be, like I said, that could be a lawnmower, that could be a table saw, drill, whatever, a day. In peak times, we were moving 800 to 900 packages out of that place a day. During Christmas, it was like a couple of thousand. Yep. We would show up, and it was work pretty much from 5 a.m. until.
I own an e-commerce business, and I would have people hit me up through the website or call me through my 800 number and ask me, can you get here by Christmas? And I'm like, depends. Where are you? Where's it going? And they tell me, and I'm like, I'm in California. Okay. This stuff is coming from, if you tell me that you want it shipped to like, I don't know, somewhere in New England, like Boston, right? It could be delayed in winter because of snowstorms. Like, I have no clue how long this stuff is going to take to get to you. So I would just tell people, like, order before the 10th for possible Christmas delivery. Because sometimes you just didn't know.
Right. And that's like, so that's a frustration for me too. I'm waiting. I'm hoping that it gets there in time, and I'm like, fuck Nugget. And like I said, the little thing I have, the little link I go to, it fucking, it's almost like someone's over there like, yeah, we don't know where that is. So we'll just say error, or something.
Oh man. So I noticed that the Heisman Trophy winner's entering the draft.
Yeah. And man, see, you picked that scab on purpose because I hate that shit. I don't think you should be able to sit out your bowl game, man. I'm that guy.
Whoa, wait, he's sitting it out?
Yes. That was when he's sitting out the bowl game to do it. He said he was
what bowl game was he supposed to be in?
This is funny. The LSU fans have been talking shit to Ole Miss, which we're in the like Peach Bowl, and they're in the what is that fucking God, like it's not real estate, real something. ReliaQuest. They're in the ReliaQuest.
What the hell? Wait, who the hell is the ReliaQuest? Why do they have a bowl?
He's gonna
that's some BS.
He's gonna sit out the ReliaQuest bowl.
Remember when there was the Orange Bowl, the Peach Bowl, the Rose Bowl? Okay, yep. You had the main bowl events,
and the Cotton Bowl, Fiesta Bowl,
Cotton Bowl, Fiesta Bowl. Now
there's the fucking Weed Whacker Bowl,
dude. And then you're gonna pretty soon you're gonna have the fucking Xerox Bowl and the fucking Taco Bell Bowl, and dude, what the hell? Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I in a lot of schools, this is the argument I hear. Now, Matt Corral from Ole Miss, which I'm an Ole Miss fan. He looked at the camera and said, "These guys went to war with me all season. There's no way I don't go to war with them in this bowl game. There's no way." And he fucked his knee up. He was, and what's funny is when this was really starting to become a thing, he wound up being the poster boy for that, and he didn't want none of it. But now they're like, people calling the bowls a meaningless game. Look, back in the day, and even now, even when you got a 12 team playoff next year, expanded playoff, that still leaves hundreds of schools. I mean, bowl games is what that's their playoff. That's their the vast majority of schools. That's their why even have a program. I mean, they're playing for something, and so I don't believe those bowl. I got started on this earlier.
Almost said speaking of bowl. Good.
Oh yeah, I got started earlier on the fact like LSU's coach. He did this in Notre Dame. They decided to hire him, and so he could get a week ahead on the recruitment. Bailed on Notre Dame's bowl game, and I don't think a coach should be able. I mean, that 1 week, how much difference? Make that. That left Notre Dame without a fucking coach for their bowl game that they worked so hard to get.
Why can't you be there for the kids?
I think that man, I'm telling you, money coming into college football is going to be its downfall, man.
It is. It really is. I mean, to me, I remember because I'm from Southern California originally, and so we would go. Besides the Rose Bowl, there's the Rose Parade, and I was in
I
marching
love
band.
watching the Rose Bowl parade. Hell yeah.
I was in marching band, and we actually got to be in the Rose Parade one year with our marching
Oh,
band,
nice.
which was horrible. Like, oh my god, I stepped in so much horse shit. They weren't
It
worried about
happens.
They weren't
It
worried
happens.
about cleaning up the horse shit in front of the high school band. They weren't. But it was
I have
such an
Oof,
awesome
oof.
experience. And then we could never get into the game because they were always sold out.
Oh, of course.
But
Yeah.
the we would try and get home as quickly as possible so we could
Right.
watch the football game. And it's just such an amazing experience seeing these colleges that fought their asses off to get in there. And I
Right.
do agree that smaller divisions need to have opportunities like that. Their senior moment, whatever you want to
Right.
call it, that's their out game for the year.
Even among Division One schools, like another
Yep.
local college here,
Hey,
USC,
Laura.
they are a Division One school,
Jesse.
and they will never. They're in the Conference USA. They will never, even if they go undefeated, they'll probably barely crack the top 25 because, I mean,
Right.
the conference they're in, they're a Division One conference, but there's nobody. I mean, that's a bowl game for them is that's the only because they're not ever going to challenge for a national title
if you're a non-sleeper, or like you have a hard time getting to sleep at night because it's usually these late night shits where they play these games again, or you're just such an adamant football fan that even when no real games are on, you're going to watch that Friday night game between Don Taylor State and Hick Union University or whatever it is. Like, you're just going to watch whatever game is on. There are
those wound up being some of the best fucking games.
Right. They are amazing.
Because they're just playing for pride and love of the game.
They're playing to win the game. That's it.
And you know what I really, and especially as a quarterback to do it, you just asked all season for these motherfuckers that stand in front of you and protect you to take hit after hit after hit. And let's be honest, one of the reasons Jaden Daniels is so good at LSU is he had an absolutely killer. They'll argue that fact. His
O-line was good.
Right. And you just told every one of those motherfuckers, yeah, you've been taking hits from me all season, but I'm not going to gut one game out for you.
Yep. It annoys me, and that is that money being involved in collegiate sports, because
he made a business decision for fear of injury because he's going to the next level.
Do you remember
that's what
when
you signed up for?
Do you remember when the college draft picks played all their college, tried to win their bowl games so they looked even better,
right,
than what they did there, and then they all went to the combine.
Yeah.
And now people will opt to not be in the combine. And
when quarterbacks especially opt out of the combine, that's telling me there is something in your game you're not wanting us to see.
Yep.
That's what you're telling me.
Yep.
But I tell you, one of my favorite, and there has been, I know the Saints has, I think Dallas has, New England has, they're the Senior Bowl. There's a lot of guys that are playing in that bowl that are not more than half of them are expected to go undrafted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These are the lower tier guys that are just trying to make that last impression. And the Senior Bowl, I know the year that the Saints, the coaching staff did it, they fell in love with a particular. That's how they discovered a certain player. Anyway, but a lot of franchises pay attention to that Senior Bowl because that's the cream of all the seniors that weren't on anybody's radar, and they find some good players and they play hard. That it ain't like the Pro Bowl or any. I mean, them motherfuckers are playing hard because everyone's trying to trying to get a job.
D asked, "What are our Christmas plans?"
I'll be alone from Friday until late Christmas Eve night, so I'll probably be with y'all. But as far as Christmas Day, I mean,
Yep.
They'll be the present opening and the food eating, and there's some good football on Christmas Day.
And is there?
Dallas plays Christmas Day, don't they?
Oh, wait. Oh, hang on. Oh, I'm gonna look right now. All right,
Somebody plays Christmas Day.
Hang on. NFL. Get in there. All right, what's the schedules?
Somebody's playing.
Okay, hang on. Christmas Day is what? Okay, wait. There's 7. No, go to the next week.
Or maybe it's Christmas Eve. I'm thinking.
Let's see. We're in 15. Go to 16. All right, here we go. Thursday. Oh yeah, Monday, December 5th. 3 games. Monday, December 25th. 3 games on Christmas. Holy crap! I know what I'm doing. Raiders.
That's what I'm screaming.
Raiders, Chiefs, go New York Giants, and I don't know, man. Ravens, 49ers. I don't want the 49ers to win, but do I have a say in that? I mean, I do in the
Ravens,
Giants
so
one.
I hope they bludgeon the shit out of the Ravens. I can't stand the Ravens.
Yeah, well, okay. The thing that got me is I looked at the where was it?
I don't hate the Ravens. I'm indifferent to the Ravens.
I looked at the playoff picture, and right now, the only teams that are guaranteed a playoff spot are the Ravens, the 49ers, the Cowboys, and the Eagles.
And the Ravens are going to lose. And the Ravens are going to lose to a wild card team. Watch.
So here's in the hunt in the AFC, because Ravens are the only one locked in. Dolphins, we have to play them. Chiefs, whatever. Jaguars, Browns, the Jaguars? Wait, for real? Okay. I wasn't expecting that. Bengals, Colts, and then you have Texas, Bills. Bengals. Yeah, whatever they are, the Bengals. Yeah, she walks like an Egyptian. Right? And then, dude, how there's this many people in the bubble? Texans, Bills, Steelers, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers. Wait, the 5-9 Chargers are on the bubble? 5-9.
Yep. Funny enough, the Patriots were the first. I'm sorry, Shauna, were the first team mathematically eliminated this year.
Yeah.
From the playoff contention. Not trying to rub no salt in no wounds. I know we got a Patriots fan here.
It's okay. I mean,
they trying to scream that, look, Belichick's fixing to be available too. And even some Saints fans are like, bring Belichick to New Orleans. I'm like, New Orleans and Belichick would be a poor mix, dude. He's not the right kind of dude for New Orleans.
Believe me, Shauna, New Orleans misses, not New Orleans, New England misses him badly. The team misses him. All the fans miss him, because since the day he walked out, they have gone on a decline, and it ain't looking like there's a end. I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel yet, because I don't see anything that's going to be their salvation.
I think he needs a little refreshing, and plus, people don't understand that particular, and it's part of what made Breeze and Peyton so prolific. If we had a defense, the Saints would have had a couple more Super Bowls and should have had another one if not for that fucking. Can we talk about the officiating in college and NFL and how corrupt and fucking paid off?
Yeah, I'm even willing to not put a track.
Man.
No, yeah. Look, hey, not just in college. Like, what in the? Okay, Shannon, are you in here? Shannon, if you're in here, say something. Okay. Dude, how in the is a dude letting go of the ball? The ball is coming out of his hands before any part of his body hits the ground. He's taken like 19 steps and like all this stuff, and the ball bounces off the ground, and the other guy gets it, and they don't call it a turnover, and they don't look at it. Like, what in the world is going on with some of these calls?
I feel you. It's hard.
Martin, what's up?
It's hard. What's up, Martin? It's hard as a Saints fan to hear anybody else complain about officiating. It's really hard.
Right.
However, it is that widespread. And the thing is, it's getting to the point and I've watched college games like this, and I know Mitchell loves Oklahoma, and I think Shannon does too. But I think it was about 2 years ago now, or whatever. Oklahoma played Tulane, and they were not going to let Oklahoma lose to Tulane on national television. In the last 4 minutes of that game, the referees absolutely. And it was even the commentators were like, "What is going on?" I mean, there are certain games now that you see that you can't mistake what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's at that point now where it's just that fucking obvious.
For real.
Like even with the Giants and Saints, everything was about that story.
Which can I say this?
There was some ignorant refereeing in that game trying to support the DeVito rise.
Do you want to know who is probably like, if any fans of theirs are watching right now? Okay. You talk about getting away
I dig
with
Oklahoma
shit.
enough.
You talk about
I got help.
You talk about not getting away with shit, and now they're calling everything, and they're not calling the shit that they should call, right? All right. So that's kind of the extremes we're at. All right.
Right.
So after not getting called forever, we saw what happened to the Chiefs when that receiver was 2 inches in front of the tip of the ball, and it was an offsides. They were blown away that it got called, and I was, because I watched that game and a whole bunch of other calls were missed.
Right.
Like how do you miss blatant late hits
when you do make those calls that you never make, and they come out of the blue like that. And I agree. Right. Now, first off, it was in fact a penalty.
Yes.
Let's not lose sight of that.
It was
however, if you're not going to call this whole other bevy of other shit that you have not called all game, and then tell me that's what you're going to hang your fucking hat on. Oh, we got him. Look, they can prove it. He was offsides. Ha ha. We win. No, man. And so I can empathize. I can empathize with the Chiefs and their emotion in that one. But I can't sympathize because we got fucked hard twice.
As a player, when you get called, as a player, when you get some bullshit call on you, you're like, that makes me look like I did something wrong and I didn't. Right? Like, it's irritating as shit because it makes you look like you're doing something. Like, your coaches are going to be like, all right, he's had 2 calls against him. But if you look at him and neither one of them were actual fucking legitimate calls, you're going to bench the guy because of it. So as a player, the stress it puts you under when they give a call where you didn't do shit and they called it on you,
that happened for us. They called us. They called it twice. They picked up the second flag because the video of the first one. But here's the thing. I don't understand the logic. They threw the flag for unnecessary roughness, hitting. I can't remember, something to do with this. Anyway, the receiver, he caught the ball, tucked it, turned, took a step. Now look, Taylor lit that motherfucker up without question. But it was a perfectly clean tackle, and they threw a flag, and they didn't. They just went on. Let's snap the ball. Well, then Taylor got called. Well, it wasn't Taylor. It was the other guy got called. The one where the quarterback. All right, this is one of those where the quarterback thought he was going to get away with one.
Mm-hmm.
He waited until the defender launched to go into his slide, and they would, dude was already in his tackling motion. There wasn't shit he could do to pull off of him at that point. And anyway, it's funny because everything out of New York is how dirty that play was. And even Atlanta fans, and you know how bad Atlanta and the Saints hate each other. Even Atlanta fans are like, that was a clean hit, buddy. Motherfucker, he didn't even start going down. So dude was already down the pipe. There was no pulling off of it. So that's on you're going to take off and run like that. If you ain't going to slide early, you're going to get hit.
Yeah,
and it wasn't a dirty hit. I mean, the defender had already committed to his course of action, and there was no turning back for him.
I just feel like as a player, forget the fan aspect, right? Forget the coaches aspect. As a player, to go out there, if it's a legitimate call, you're going to apologize to your team, right?
Right.
But when you're getting called for some shit, and it's like, dude, that's a safe hit, like that's legitimate. Okay. it causes.
You know what's got to annoy me is how many pass interference calls you don't see versus the ones you do see.
Right.
I'm
well,
like,
and then
I'll see a pass
absolutely.
interference call, and I'll be like, he didn't even touch him, but yet that motherfucker was dragging all over his freaking jersey the whole way down the play before, and they didn't call shit.
Right. And as a player, like, you're just trying to do your best, right? And you know, these calls can alter the outcome of a game. You know, and if you did nothing wrong and it altered the outcome of the game, that's some bullshit as a player. Like, you got to feel like pissed off by the end of that.
I noticed after that first when they called that on that quarterback, and throughout most of the game, defenses have been put on notice. Like, look, you're gonna have to candy ass the quarterback. And I watched some of our best fire breathing pass rushers in moments legally and hit perfect could have blown fucking dude up, and they were like grabbing him around the waist and kind of dragging him down. You know what I'm saying? They're defenders. I mean, you can't hit. I mean, look, Ronnie Lott said it best. They were talking to him. We're talking about Ronnie by God Lott, Hall of Fame safety, man. And they were talking to him, and they were picking with him versus some of the modern players' skill sets. And they're like, well, you weren't very good in pass defense. He said, it wasn't my job to prevent him from catching the ball. That was what the cornerbacks were for. My job was, if he caught the ball, separate him from it. My job was to hit. Safety's jobs used to be to hit a motherfucker
so hard that the ball would pop out.
Yep. Right. Or even if he did catch that one, make him terrified to put his hand.
That's what happened. Think about the name of their position. Safety. Think about the name of it, right?
Yep.
All other defenses have failed. Here's your last safety effort, right? You know,
yep. We had a safety in New Orleans named Vince Buck, and this is probably his. You know, he'll never be a Hall of Fame player. This was his one moment of fame, though. Terrell Owens at that time was playing with San Francisco. It's one of the few games I ever got to go to and see personally. And they fucking, you know, at the time, San Francisco was still in our division. This was right before they realigned the divisions. And anyway, Terrell Owens, that was the year he was doing all the shit with the Sharpie and all that other kind of bullshit. And that motherfucker, when he came out of the tunnel and everything, was waving that fucking marker at everybody. And there was one play, he picked up a fumble or something and ran to the 50-yard line and did something. And, of course, the Superdome went ape shit. But when he finally caught that first pass, that first seam over the middle, dude, his grandchildren are going to feel that hit. Vince Buck absolutely obliterated Terrell Owens.
Can I just say?
And he held on to that ball, though.
Yep.
But the funny thing is, for the rest of that game, Terrell Owens didn't even put his hands up to catch a motherfucker. He's like, I'm done. he would slow up and make it look like he was overthrown. That motherfucker wasn't trying to catch shit for the rest of that game. And that's what a safety was supposed to do. Put the fear of God in that receiver.
You know, Terrell Owens is one of the most loved and one of the most hated players. Like, he came to Dallas and I hated him, but he was great. Right. He was. I just hated him because, like, you know, that time when he ran out on the star and he got his ass fucking leveled on the star. Do you remember that, right? Yep. I mean, he was a showboat, but was not just a showboat. He was egotistical and his ego got him. That's what it was. Yep. You know, you're going to run out on the star like that. But by the way, can I just say thank you, Seattle? That's all. Just thank you, Seattle.
I'm torn on that because as a Saints fan, also, I hate Philadelphia. We have Atlanta's our big rivalry, but there's some shit between Philly and New Orleans. And I wanted Seattle to beat their ass. And I wanted for y'all, because I know y'all are fans of Dallas, I wanted Seattle to beat that ass. But that pretty much fucked my team. There'll be no wild card now. It's either win the division or go home. And
they can win the division, I think, because
luckily the other team that's in tie with us sucks bad too.
Yep. All right. So I'm sure the majority of our fans here that are listening are probably going, when do we get out of football?
Tired of football.
So all right, what do you guys want to talk about? You have 3 minutes.
Anime?
Oh, I thought you said anime for a minute. I was going to disconnect you from the call.
Okay. No, that was my daughters. I said anime. Dude, look, if there was ever a time when I would say I deserved at least a pat on the back as a father, I took my daughters to an anime con.
Oh, cool.
And I passed on the chance to go to the Comic-Con the weekend before to take them to this anime con. And dude, that was just not, that was this is what's funny to me too. This was a few months before COVID, and all of the actual Japanese people there were wearing masks. All of them. Nobody had heard of COVID yet. And I remember we kept asking, why are these people wearing masks? And now, and then about 3 or 4 months later, well, actually, that was in June. That was the June before, like that January when it really blew up. And we, we were actually at that point nervous. And it wasn't even just all the Japanese people there. There was a lot of people, man. And we were like, why are all these motherfuckers wearing masks? And in fact, my daughters bought these masks that had these anime logos on them. And then, of course, months later when COVID hit, that's what they used for their masks. And I was like, how convenient was that?
Right.
How convenient was that?
The only thing I know about anime is like, why do people dress up like cartoon characters like that chick from Scooby-Doo?
My daughters do cosplay, man. I can't
pick
on them. That's their
like I see it. Like
I don't. It's not my. I mean,
I have an Instagram account.
I
have an Instagram account and it has a search feature, and you click on that. It doesn't matter whether it's your first day on Instagram or your 1,000th day. If you click on the search feature, the first thing you're gonna see is boobies and butts and stuff like that, right? And there was like chicks dressed up like some character from Scooby-Doo, and I'm like,
Scooby-Doo.
What? Hey, dude, no.
Dude, I told you. Fuck.
Hang on. I'll have to take this for a minute. You run this. Dang.
Oh. See, all I have to offer is tweaking nipples and darts. How y'all doing? So Kenny has bailed. I'm gonna hope this is important. If this is like over whether or not to bring home some soup, I'm gonna kick him in his dick. Kenny Dick. We'll kick one of the dicks smooth off. It'll just be Kenny Dick. So it is getting to be the holidays. Anybody having any I'd like to hope not, but is anybody encountering any holiday family drama?
Oh, then maybe I did. I don't remember. Okay, yeah, you can shoot back.
I mean, there kind of is for me, not in a drama sense. Just there's certain things got to be taken care of.
Okay.
So,
all right, I'll hit you up later. All right. Yep. All right. Bye.
If anyone is having that kind of issue, I wish you well. Why are you gonna bring up something depressing? The fuck's wrong with me? What?
Okay. In my try not to act stone challenge, because that was my sister who called me, and I was trying not to seem stoned, and she asked me, did I send her this book and this book? And I said, no, I still got my copies. You got them for somebody else. And she goes, oh, I thought you did. And she goes, I was going to send them back. And I'm like, well, maybe I did. And then I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, are you okay? And the only thing I could think to say is, I got to go. I have a call on the other line. Right? Like, she's going to be like, what the hell is wrong with you? Oh, shit. But I did have a call on the other line. It's all of you.
Right. And I stumbled horrifically in your absence because I wasn't prepared, and I was like, yeah, all I got is nipple tweaks. I mean, and some darts. How y'all doing?
Oh,
we're all fine here.
Shauna, are you talking about the ringtone? The guitar ringtone? Shauna said, LOL, Kenny, at least it was a good song. My ringtone is a Blue Saraceno song. Is it Stinky Kitty? It might be Stinky Kitty. Let me check. What's my what? It might be. Let's see. Which one is it?
Are we talking the Friends song, Stinky Kitty?
No, Blue Saraceno.
That Lisa Kudrow used to sing?
No, hey,
that was Smelly Kitty. Smelly Cat. That's what it was. She used to have a song called Smelly Cat. That's what I'm thinking.
Wait, what?
Right? Any of y'all females?
Oh, wait, no. I had Stinky Kitty on before. I had Stinky Kitty on before. This is Feeding the Box. Don't ask questions.
It's all well. Look, I've already recommended the movie about feeding the hole.
Oh God,
that's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, Romeo is Bleeding. As he narrates in his head, he's a crooked cop, and his world explodes, and some fucked up shit goes down because his wife has this dream of going and open up a diner on Route 66, and he decides he's never going to make that kind of money, so he goes crooked, and he's in charge of protecting witnesses in mob cases, and other mobsters pay him off, and he gives up the witness. And anyway, it's all about feeding the hole. He's got a little hole that he's dug in his backyard, and because every time he does this, he gets X amount of money, and he's stuffing it down in there to save it, so he can go, hey baby, look, I've got the money, we can move and you can open your diner, I can give you your dream. And it all becomes, he does some absolutely atrocious shit, and that's how he rationalizes the whole thing. He's feeding the hole.
I got a question for you. Is there a movie that, if I'm gonna ask the question and see what comes to your mind, it doesn't have to be right off the top of your head, you might want to think about it for a minute, a movie that you haven't seen in forever, and it was such a good flick you'd watch it on Christmas Day over one of the football games?
Over football. I'm a movie fan, dude, and it's that list that I'm going to watch on Christmas over football, because in the digital age I can watch that movie pretty much anytime I want to. Now, if I'm in a situation where a gun is to my head and I can watch football or this movie, by God, shit, I don't know. I tell you what. I tell you one, and a lot of people probably laugh at this. I said that I wanted to come in here and watch Scrooged before Christmas with some of y'all. I would come in here on Christmas Day and forego a football game to watch The Last Starfighter with some of y'all.
Last Starfighter.
Love that movie. A lot of y'all probably ain't even heard of that shit. They've been working on a sequel for so long, but there's issues with the rights to the story because of the main writer died and his family's being fit. Same thing with Buck Rogers. They want so bad to do a Buck Rogers remake, and they can't because of the family that owns the rights after the original writer of that, or creator of that shit's died. But anyway, now they're saying that there's the Kurt Russell and his son have bought in and are just trying to do a Last Starfighter remake. And I'm like, no, Rogan is still alive. Y'all can have him pass that shit off to the sequel, pass that off to the younger generation, and it would be perfect, and it would be magic, and all the old fans and the new fans would like. And like, don't you dare reboot or remake. Better make a sequel. I love that movie though, man. That's like, I'm a sci-fi guy, and that was one of the first movies that ever really. And I had the Atari game, and when the arcade game actually hit out here, I spent way more quarters in that motherfucker than I should have. Back when you could go to an arcade and play a game for a quarter, now it's like $3.
I'm asking my wife, because I'm going to sound stupid because I can't remember the name. Because I was going to tell you which one I would pick, but I can't remember the name. So I have to ask her. If she doesn't know, I'll just say it and sound stupid. Because as you were talking, one came to mind, and the name like kind of flashed by, but I know the movie. I know what it's about. It's about a guy who quite possibly could be on the spectrum, who's a math genius. And the name of it is A Something Mind.
A Beautiful Mind.
A Beautiful Mind.
That's a good movie. That's a good movie.
I would watch that again on Christmas Day. Like, you know, if there was a football game I didn't give a shit about and that came on, I'd watch that. I don't watch a lot of movies, but that one came to mind again. And as you were talking about that other one, I don't know whether Christmas Day, but New Year's Day. No, not New Year's Day. There's too many bowl games. All right, so New Year's Eve.
A lot of football New Year's Day.
New Year's Eve, I would watch Falling Down. Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Where homeboy loses his shit in LA and goes off on everyone.
There's see, there's a, you know, now that I start thinking about it, now I'm thinking.
Oh, that's true.
Another sci-fi one that I would pick for everybody to come sit and watch is Aliens, the second of the Alien series, where they have the Marines that go back. Just because, man, all the different motherfuckers that's in that movie. But game over, man. Game over. When that movie, like at the time when that movie came out, that was an absolute thrill ride of a movie. Now these days, you know, they can do all kinds of shit, but especially with the technology they had and the and shit. I mean, that movie was tense, man. Even its action was tense. The music, the score to it didn't hurt. The music made you tense also.
Do you remember Uncommon Valor?
Wow, Sean, I hadn't seen that in forever. Yes. That was
another what he was older at the time. What's his name?
Fuck. It's right there. Yeah, I haven't seen that shit in a long time. We need a Google assistant. There was actually a lot of people in that.
Hey Siri, who was in Uncommon Valor?
Uncommon Valor is a 1983 American action war film.
Gene Hackman. Shut up, Siri.
And starring
Shut up, Siri. Siri, you're a hoe. Stop. You better stop.
You better do it now. Don't make me spank you, Siri.
Dude, it kept spinning like it was listening to me. Don't tell the government shit. Siri's probably in with the government. I'm just saying. Did you hear that Apple is working on a self-driving flying fucking UFO car thing or some shit now? But people will have to get a new one every 6 months because they'll keep giving a fucking new version out. The iCar 1, the iCar 2, the iCar 3, the iCar 3X, the iCar 3XX Plus.
The iCar 3 Pro. Right. iCar 3 Max.
Right, the iCar 3 Mini. Folding don't matter. Oh shit.
It's been funny watching that cycle because in the beginning, cell phones were these big clunky things, and everybody wanted to go small, so they went small.
And now they're getting huge.
And then everybody wants big. I mean, I see. It's usually a female. I'm not picking on women, but it's usually a female be holding a goddamn tablet to their head, talking to. I mean, big old fucking phone, man. I'm like, shit.
Can I just get a phone that has a battery that doesn't die in 4 hours? Right? Like, remember, you could get an old Nokia, right? And you could leave that shit unplugged for 3 days.
Go all week.
Or a week. Like it was no big deal. Damn, we got a party over there.
Over where?
Oral.
Oh.
Yeah.
Speaking of oral.
Ooh.
Somebody go lay a turd. Just walk in the room and say, lays a turd.
There. All right. Anyway, back to the people at hand. Wait, which you said "Song of the South"? That's a good one. Brer Rabbit. Oh man.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, that shit. I ain't seen that shit in a minute.
Hey, if I had a gang of acid, I'd watch that one with Johnny Depp where it was like that trippy ass Alice in Wonderland movie.
Oh my God! You know, my wife loves my wife is a Johnny Depp fan. Don't let her lie to you. She likes his Wonka. Did you see that there's a new Wonka coming out? It's the dude from Dune. It's the kid from Dune doing it.
I heard about it, but I hadn't seen the picture. Oh my God, dude!
I've been catching a lot of cool trailers lately. There actually is some cool shit coming. Hold on just a second. I gotta ask a serious question. Not to y'all, to my wife. No, I gotta start texting. I'm asking her sweetly if she'll come fix me a drink.
Oh, what you gonna get if she does?
Oh, she's gonna fix our usual. I mean, I've got my Jaeger. I'm gonna save the peach. I'm gonna save the adult sippy cup for the next live stream she's in.
Okay.
Because she likes the peach too. So I'm just Jaeger and vodka. Oh, there she is.
I ain't trying to
be beautiful.
Yes, she is. I ain't trying to do the vodka.
Check out her. She got that
killer
from
hoodie.
Rommel.
Her killer hoodie.
She got it from Rommel, man, and it's her Simba symbol. It was really cool that he remembered that. She hadn't taken it off. That shit's fucking apparently pretty comfortable.
Hell yeah. Hey, it is hoodie weather, that's for sure.
It is. And what's funny is, dude, I had to to run all our shit in here tonight. We have limited receptacles in here. So guess what's the one thing that got unplugged? Funny enough to plug in your light. The heater. So it's a tad bit chilly up this motherfucker right now.
Dude, you don't have to leave my light on and freeze your nuts up.
I'm gonna run. Since I have some time off, I'm gonna tinker with our setup because we've got other shit we want to incorporate. Some of y'all saw the saw blade. That shit is badass.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try to figure out.
If you didn't, you'll need to get in the Discord and somebody.
Yeah, man, there. That thing is. Hold on, I'll show it right now. I gotta go get it.
Be careful, man. Don't hurt your back. If he chucked this like at somebody, it would be the end of him. I mean, look at this thing. Look at this saw blade picture.
I'd actually forgotten how fucking heavy this motherfucker was.
Daniel, I'm just saying, forget the wall. You lay it on a stand that slides like this and has a pin in the middle with a band that pulls back. Somebody breaks into your house, you let it go right at the front door.
Somebody in our local area painted this for us, y'all, and it's on a big old timey saw blade. Hold on.
Yep. Yeah, a big old timey saw blade. God damn, dude, that is dope. Don't hurt your hands.
This motherfucker's heavy. Oh shit! Hold on, I got a conundrum now. Hold on. I don't know what to do with it.
Set it flat on the floor. Just don't step on it with your bare toes.
Oh, that's I still got my steel toe boots on, but that was my when I sit on the couch, that was my fear. Is like one of the girls is gonna try to move this, and they're always barefoot up in here. Hold on, just a second. I'm gonna dispose of this again now.
Shauna, you saw the size of that. Like, this is a dangerous weapon. Like, this could be a weapon of mass destruction at a high rate of speed if it got launched. Good Lord. If y'all want to hear the story of it, you can. In a synopsis, I need a gay dude in a moo painting things on a saw blade for me. That's all I'll give you right now.
Okay.
I gave them a sneak peek. I said, if you want the full synopsis, you have to come over to Discord. Otherwise, I need a gay guy in a moo painting saw blades for me for my life to be complete.
That is not. It's not near as bad as it sounds.
But it's perfect.
Thanks for just putting that out there for me, Frank.
Right? Don't drop it on your toes. No shit. All right. Oh, here. I got this.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me pour one. I'm not scared. I'm proud.
Oh, nope. I'm not. I'm neither. I'm still surviving. 4 more shots tonight, and I'll be sitting in the bedroom going, stroke me, stroke me. Here's the Billy Squire.
You'd be looking at your own dick going, ooh, I'm going to hurt you tonight.
No, I'll be looking at it going, Layla, stand up. Oh, shit.
Fucking shite.
Hey, got a question for you. Because I've been slacking on the reacting. Because I'm all self-conscious and you know what's going on. I'm about to get teeth again. And I'll be reacting again. But what do you got coming out soon?
We did a reaction for the Big Push. It's their I Shot the Sheriff Road to Zion cover.
That's Ren's band.
Yep. We got Free Pression by Mises, which I will never listen to again.
And when you
wonderful song, but I will never listen to it again.
And I explained to you that I will actually listen to it twice because you guys reacted to it, but I did that too, so I know that song very well.
Oh, that song hurts. And
did you do
Samson? We got Sincerely a Taxpayer from Samson.
Oh man.
Thing to go up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm looking
I'm
at
sure you've heard that by now.
Yeah, I'm looking at doing the where is it?
We got several we're supposed to do. That's just what we got.
I'm looking at when if I can get this stuff, if I can get my teeth fixed and I don't feel embarrassed to be on camera, I'm gonna do Upchurch featuring T2 motion picture. And Upchurch Super Hot Fire. I might do both in one. And then I am behind on a Tom McDonald. There was one he did last plus motion picture, or I mean plus stronger version. So I might try and do both of those together too.
Stronger version was I'm not gonna say shit till
I'm a musician, so I don't expect anything other than hearing it and feeling the music.
It's just he's I hate to say flexing because of the tone and the feel of the song, but he's flexing a different vibe, man. It's not his usual
it's okay
thing. You know what I mean? And I mean that's one of the things we liked about it. He flexes a different sound, man. And
to me actually you know how much
surprisingly good at it.
You know how much I like Upchurch, and you know how many times he's done something that's just a new thing, and you're like, wow,
right.
And he does it great. So I'll go into it with my typical expectations that Tom's going to do good at it, because I don't think he'd release anything that's trash. And whatever the vibe is, I'll figure it out and see how I
you'll all right. And not near as sad a way. It was a double punch for Jocelyn that night, because Stronger Version deals with some of the same issues as that, just in a different way.
Right.
So it's a great tune. It's pretty inspirational. I think. We'll see what you think.
Nice. There is a bunch of new stuff supposed to be coming out from artists that I really look forward to hearing from. I know Church is supposed to be doing something with the Blue Jean too.
We're behind on Church. We're behind on everybody right now.
I know a lot of the artists that I follow are dropping new stuff. I mentioned it to you earlier that Yellow Wolf's supposed to be dropping 2 or 3 different albums, right. And I'm hoping that you guys will find a Yellow Wolf song that'll see whether or not it's something that you want to check out, because if it's new stuff comes out, I guarantee it's going to be good. So
Broadnax has got something new
Yep.
coming out, man. We love Broadnax
I
over
heard
there.
that. Did you hear that Instagram clip from Upchurch with him and Broadnax, Blue Jeans too? Yeah. I'm excited. I'm ready.
I'm really stoked.
I'm ready for that thing to land on iTunes, and I'll buy it. Like, it is what it is.
Because we love church, and I live just up the road from Broadnax.
Yep.
I'm determined. I mean, I'm not gonna stalk him. Maybe I'm just gonna accidentally be in the grocery store one day. Be like, oh, Broadnax.
Oh my god. I'm also.
What the fuck was that? There was a earth-shattering kaboom in there somewhere.
Is there a toilet on the other side of that wall by any chance? Did you guys buy Taco Bell?
There is not.
Okay.
No, toilet's out.
Oh, okay.
Well, technically there is a toilet that way, but if something happened in that toilet, we wouldn't hear it all the way over here.
Yep, Broadnax is dope.
Of course.
Broadnax is dope.
Of course, Shauna. Of course. Shauna.
Broadnax is dope. You got to meet him, I take it. That's super sick. That's awesome.
Of course she did.
Yep.
Shauna gets to meet all of them.
Yep. It was funny. It showed up in my feed.
She's lucky
it showed up in my feed earlier where I was on January 1st.
Shauna makes a dude that's met some fuckers feel inferior.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
January 1st, 2001. So it was right after midnight. I was taking pictures of Upchurch on stage at Cotton Eye Joe's. And that showed up in my feed. And I want to go see him again, too. I mean,
I hate that, the show we were supposed to go to got canceled,
right.
and we know why.
I know.
And I hate it. But I'm please come back through.
I had tickets to Tailgates and Tall Boys where he was the headliner for 3 days. And there was a particular court case going on with a particular nut job from Canada, that had to be dealt with. And so I understood it. I was so looking forward to being there to that festival because the other lineup with it included a lot of guys like A-Cal, Jelly Roll, just there was a huge crowd, a huge group of people. By the way, Jelly Roll, holy crap, dude. Is that dude? He blew up like crazy. Like we all knew he could. We just didn't know what it was going to take. And then, a few songs in and holy shnikes, dude. And it's awesome. I don't think he's going to stop his rap career just for country. Because that is such a huge part of his history.
His explosion though has kind of annoyed me a little bit with the whole, because as a musician, and we didn't know this. We had been away. When I walked away from the music game and we started having kids, dude, we barely even listened to new stuff.
Yep.
We just whatever we already had in our playlist.
Shauna, I had tickets.
We didn't.
I had tickets to that tour, Shauna, Tom and Falling in Reverse. I had tickets to that tour in San Francisco, and they notified us about a week before that the show was canceled.
Oh wow!
Yep. So yeah,
but we didn't know about this treasure trove of all these new independent artists, and I like it. I like that an artist can now stand on their own, whatever they want. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. You don't have to you ain't got to go through the circuit, man. And with Jelly, his explosion now, like the bar that my wife and I go shoot pool in. Oh, every other song that comes out of that motherfucker is Jelly Roll now.
Yep, and it's on the jukebox.
As much as I appreciate it and love it,
yep,
I love it. As much as I appreciate it and love it for Jelly, part of me is like, you stupid bastard. That motherfucker's not new,
right?
You know what I'm saying? He's been around for a minute.
Shauna,
he should have done heard that motherfucker.
Says she hopes he doesn't, ditch the rap stuff, but he has definitely gone way more country. And to me, it's always going to be there. When I flew to North Carolina and me and JP went and saw Jelly Roll, I had heard what the first song was going to be, but I didn't know the story behind it. And JP and I went to a tattoo shop and got The Hate Goes On tattooed on us. And that was the first song of the show, and it turns out that the only reason it was the first song of that show is that show wasn't even supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But a show got canceled because of COVID, and that was the makeup date for that show. And because it was on the same tour, he used the same set list.
Right.
And that was the one he started it with. And it was so dope. I mean, I gotta say, Bunny was part of the show. She came out at one point in time because he wants to show her off, right? And she looks over, and this chick's holding a sign up that says, "When I fuck my husband, I'm thinking of you, Bunny."
Oh, damn.
And she says, "I want that sign. You come backstage afterwards. We're autographing it for you."
You know, one thing that I really think helped, and I'm not sure who made this happen. I've been sniffing into this story for a minute. But during the COVID epidemic, two of the most profound musical performances I watched were both Grand Ole Opry performances. One was Vince Gill and his wife, Amy, of course, and their kids, all on acoustic guitars. And, of course, it was during COVID, so there was an empty room. It's just them on stage. And it was amazing. Another one later that year, or actually it was next year, but to an empty room. And I still, because it hit me out of the blue. This was before he started blowing up. But Jelly went and done Grand Ole Opry, and he sang "Save Me."
Yep.
In that empty fucking room. And, dude, it is the coldest shit.
Yep.
Dude, he sang it perfect. And there's just something about him singing it to that empty room, dude. Oh, God.
You mentioned
and he fucking
you mentioned Grand Ole Opry, and I was thinking of something. There's an artist that I think I had requested you to react to his song Rashad, Small Town Talk.
Yes, I like Rashad. I haven't heard that one, and that's on our list. That's coming. We're gonna do that one. I like Rashad.
He got to do the Grand Ole Opry.
Really? I haven't seen
that. Yes, I
saw
it. It showed up in my feed, and I went and watched it, and I was like, "Oh my God, that was so brilliant!" You know, this little dude from this little tiny podunk town in Georgia, right, makes it all the way to the Grand Ole Opry. And the irony behind him, for people that don't know about him, is he got his start by taking rap songs and doing country versions of them. You know,
he's very versatile. I've just in what the stuff I've listened to.
Yep.
Funny enough, my coworker once. This is so funny. This is my coworker, I guess, trying to be cool with me. Now that he knows that we do
music reaction
video, right? He's constantly. He goes through. He'll get on whatever his app is, and it'll start going through that genre, and he'll like filter it out to independent. He's constantly trying to bring me something I hadn't heard, you know, constantly. And he's actually brought me some very cool shit. There's some shit that I want to do some reactions for that we hadn't got to yet that he's brought me. But he actually come across Rashad before I did, and he brought me some Rashad. There's another guy. There's two guys actually. I'm going to be sending you some links for that. There's two of those guys that do everything acoustic, you know, but oh my God, if the right motherfucker hears either one of those motherfuckers, I mean, they're both fucking, I can't remember their names off the top of my head. I got links, so I'm going to send you some shit. But anyway, yeah, he's constantly trying to bring me new music. And he said, man, have you listened to Rashad? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And I kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with him. And he's not my usual cup of tea, but I appreciate his musicianship. He's a very good musician.
When you finally get to Small Town Talk, I'll watch your reaction to it. I didn't react to it because when it came out, I was like, I wasn't sure what to expect. So I just clicked on it and I got stuck and immersed in the song instantly and listened to it. So I can't do a reaction to it. But I will tell you that when I listened to that song, I had certain people in my head that I know that song is their story. So
you sent that to me with that. There's actually one Rommel sent to me too that I'm scared of doing because I know it's going to get me in my feels, and I don't want to be blubbery. Nobody wants to. It's one thing if Jocelyn gets emotional and cries in one of our videos. Nobody wants to see me blubber.
Right. Well, you know, there's been a few songs. We did that one, you know, a week or so ago where I did that Jason Aldean one, you know, Let Your Boys
Yeah.
Be Country. And I looked at that and I was like, man, I'm so glad that my grandma allowed me to do all the stuff she allowed me to do, you know,
Right.
and I got to enjoy all of those experiences. Because it really was a better life when I was doing all that stuff than dealing with all the crap that's
The
going
funny
on
thing
now.
is, for me, I didn't think of it that way at the time. You know, I'm a little kid and I'm already fucking, you know, everything from chopping wood to fucking shelling peas to fucking cutting grass to fucking, you know,
Fixing.
and now I appreciate it because I mean, I can live self-sufficient if I need to. I can do that.
I grew up.
But at the time, it didn't seem like it was that fun. I was like, motherfuckers just working me like a fucking mule, man.
I remember my grandpa taking me out back, and we would split logs. I had to hold the chisel while he hit it with the sledgehammer.
Oh no!
And he was really good at it. But then we had a big old bird cage built around this giant Chinese elm tree in our backyard, and we raised ringneck doves and white doves on one side, and then on the other side it was quail and finches.
My grandmother raised quail, and she raised a couple of different kinds of doves.
And so
my grandma did that.
You know, if something happened,
you had incubators, didn't you?
And if something happened, like a tree branch landed, you know, like dropped down and hit the edge of that thing. If my grandpa wasn't home, my grandma would have me go out and fix it because she knew that I knew how to use a hammer and a nail already. Like how many people would trust a 7-year-old to do that, right? But back then, that's what we were taught to do, like fix things, you know. And even you know, my grandpa would let me. We had a wood burning stove, and my grandpa would let me light the fire in there, you know, because he showed me how to do it. I loved that growing up, you know, with that hands-on teaching about how to do things. Nowadays, ask a 16-year-old how to change a tire on their car. Right? They can't, but we could because we were taught how to do it because it was a skill we needed to know. And dude, that's the thing about that.
You heard me rant about this recently with them fucking kids that first off, they couldn't operate a can opener. They couldn't get into a can of Chef Boyardee. The fact that it had a pop top didn't occur to any of them. And then somebody handed them a can opener. And this is, I can't remember what the protest was, and I'll send you a link to this. This is, God damn it, people have gotten so stupid. Right? Kids can't figure out how to operate a can opener. And I'm like, so what you're telling me is if there was an apocalypse and you had nothing but canned food to eat, you're fucked.
Well, and that's the thing, you know, if they're that incompetent and then they, hi, you know, I want a job at your factory. What do you guys do? Well, we do this. Do you know how to do it? Yeah, I probably could figure that out. Okay. Before you're going to set your hands on my $20,000 or $1 million machinery, I want you to do me a favor. You see that Ford truck right there? Yeah, here's a jack, here's the lug wrench, and here's a spare tire. Go change it. And if you can't do that, then there's no way I'm letting you operate this press.
I had a moment with my daughter. She took over my old work truck. I bought it from the company when they were going to get rid of it. And it was my truck for a while, and now it's my daughter's truck. Well, anyway, she called me from the side of the road and with a flat, right? And I had taught her how to change the tire. And I was like, why are you, I mean, I'll come help if I mean everything, but
why are you calling me?
Can't you? Right, kind of. Yeah, kind of. And but I showed up, and that set of tires was when I was still driving it when it was company owned, had just had a brand new set of tires on it. And whoever put those fucking lug nuts back on there fucking not only stripped them, but fucking
tore them motherfuckers
those bitches. I get there and I start trying to break this thing, and it ain't moving. And it took everything I possessed to get that motherfucker moving. And every turn, it took me hours, dude, to get them lug nuts. Hours to get them lug nuts off that fucking truck. And I was like, okay. Okay. She knew how to change that tire. She just wasn't strong enough. I wasn't fucking strong enough. I got so pissed off. That motherfucker's still like that too. As soon as she gets whatever it is she's going to get, I'm probably going to retire that motherfucker until I can fucking get some new fucking lug studs on that motherfucker, because they fuck them motherfuckers up.
But you got kids now who can tell you how to do a cheat in a game in virtual reality and can't hook a chain back on their bicycle.
You're right.
Like, at least the shit we learned was legitimate, right? Because, like, once I learned how to put a chain back on a bicycle when it came off, you know, because your rear hub might not have been tight, right? There might have been some sag. Your chain comes off from time to time. Once you know how to do it,
cheese.
Yep. Have a good night.
Cheese. Hold on, y'all. I'm being offered cheese by my daughter. What kind of cheese?
Pepper jack, Philly jack, Swiss, and mild cheddar.
I'll take a piece of this pepper jack. Is it any good?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Some pepper jack. Sweet.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Got some cheese.
Random cheese. Can't argue with that.
Random cheese. Look, man, I'll take some random cheese, but I don't think anybody's bringing me any.
Well, I didn't know somebody was going to bring me cheese.
I know. Now I'm kind of hungry, and
my daughters are so weird.
Like we say in Discord, I hate you, but whatever. Okay. Hey, by the way, I don't know why anybody didn't put the Discord link in here, because y'all left or some shit, so I'll put it in.
I told you, man. It happened the other night. My daughters are determined they're going to take over our channel, I think.
There. I did that thing. So. But not this second. I mean, if we're still, I don't need, is anybody still here? Somebody comment if you're listening. Otherwise,
sound off.
Otherwise, I got a bong to clean out and a Discord to go play with. You're here. No, wait, no, that was me.
That's you, bitch.
I answered myself. God damn. All right, listen.
It's one thing if you answer yourself. It's another thing if you answer yourself.
How long do I let the Jeopardy clock play in my head right now? How's the cheese?
It was actually good cheese. As it turns out, I'm not sure why my daughter came in. She just
that was so random. Like, would you like a piece of cheese? Like, she just wants to see what's going on. I get it. Like, I was a kid. If my parents were cool and doing something cool in the other room, I'd want to go see what they were doing. Right? You know, like, usually, you know, if your parents ain't cool, you don't want to walk into their bedroom and see anything. Right? So it's a good sign. You're cool.
Oh God. Okay, yeah, everything is hidden is why she walked in here. Our daughters do not generally just walk into this room. They know better.
Hey, listen,
but she just got in from work, and
the flying wrenches though are part of working on the car.
Yes.
Almost home.
Oh my God, I think I was 5, and I was helping my dad replace U-joints. He was a carpet installer, and he had a van. And man, that van, first off, that motherfucker probably had over 1,000 pounds of tools on it. And then we'd put them 800 to 1,000 pound rolls of carpet on it, man. And that van worked, dude. But I mean, and he would fly, dude, everywhere he went. And try making a full-size van stop on a dime with about 3,000 pounds in the back of it. He would fly everywhere he went, dude, scare the shit out of us. But yeah, U-joints were a damn near monthly
Oh my God.
Because of what he put those
I-
vans through. U joints were like a monthly thing.
I
dude.
drove when I was a teenager. We drove a lot of VWs, like lower VW bugs, VW buses, Carmen Gias, didn't matter,
Oh,
squareback.
Carver Giz.
Hell yeah, right. And all you needed was like a belt just in case and some wrenches, right? Because other than that, like, okay,
Dude.
I blew up a VW engine because I ripped the it had an 8-pass oiler cooler on it, right, with the filter, and I ripped the filter off while racing some dude, and the oil shot out, and I seized the motor up. It took us. What we did, I took it to my friend's house. I'm like, how do we fix this shit? And my friend was Mexican, right? Had a lowered bug, and he goes, "There's the white way and the Mexican way." And I says, "What's the white way?" And he says, "We buy a new engine." And I says, "What's the Mexican way?" And he says, "We pull the manifolds off, pull the plugs out, dump a quart of oil into each cylinder, turn that bitch by hand until it starts, and sell it tomorrow." And I was like, "I'll do that," right? Right. And we did, and it took us like an hour and 15 minutes to get that car started. And the worst part was, you know what a stinger is? That straight pipe.
Mm.
Okay, you know how they put a baffle in them to cool them down? Well, this motherfucker didn't have a baffle in it. What I had that shit backed up to my friend's fence, and his mom's rose bushes were right there, right? And we dumped 4 quarts of oil in the cylinders, right? And turned that bitch by hand until it started. And then we fired that up, dude. I saw what a fired up Mexican mom looks like with a broom kicking your ass for fucking putting oil all over the rose bushes. Good.
That was actually a bad. My mom and my dad argued about that a lot because he'd be working on shit, and he had a spot back there, and we got well water, man. And Mama was convinced that shit.
Oh God, he's
well
letting shit seep. He's letting shit seep.
He got there pouring fucking motor oil, used and burnt motor oil out in the fucking, and that was an issue between my parents for a very long time. There's a guy. He just retired, so we'll have to find somewhere else. But there was this dude that everybody in town that changes their own oil and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Take your burner oil. There was this old man. He had a mechanics and machine shop, and he had this. That's how he heated his shop. He had this big tank out there, and this was some jury rig shit that he put together himself. But everybody'd bring their old motor oil, and he'd dump it in that tank out there, and he'd burn, and it would burn, and that's how we'd heat his shop. And everywhere that was, and people, just to get rid of it, people be bringing him used motor oil. I mean, and that tank out there was like a 300-gallon tank, and he would fucking use that
shit out of the air. Everybody's plants are dying. Animals have asthma and shit.
That motherfucker, hey, that dude's fucking 90-something years old. It ain't apparently too bad. However he's burning it. Must not be too awful.
Dude, we did some janky ass shit when we were younger. And I wonder if that shit was that janky when we did it. How janky was it when our grandparents did it, who taught our parents how to do that shit? Right?
My mother and I had this conversation lately. I grew up out in the woods, as you know. Dude, after watching some of the movies I watched as a kid, we would go out there and we would declare we'd find us a spot and we'd declare that our fort. And we make tree houses, rope swing, whatever, man, vines if they were handy. But this cat named Joey Gunther and I, man, and I just recently reconnected with him not too long ago. Just said hi. But we would make booby traps around our fort area that would probably, looking back on it, probably kill or severely maim a fucking human being. And we were, we do shits about it as kids. And I always wondered, I was like, when I moved away from here, there was some of that shit still hot, dude, so to speak. I'm like, did anybody ever go walking through those woods? And can
you imagine nowadays if a parent of a brand new parent, first time parent right now, 2023. Mm-hmm. So they were probably born in like 2000, right? Okay. And so they have a kid, first kid. Could you imagine the look on their face if they saw all the shit we did as kids? Like me and my friend Mikey having BB gun wars in the backyard, and then Me
They're
shooting
trying to
him,
shoot you in the face.
dude. He shot me between the eyes, right? Like it got me. It is what it is, right? Like cool. So he's like, "You cried like a bitch." I said, "Fuck you," and I grabbed his pistol and put a stupid brand new CO2 cartridge in it and put a BB in it. And when he took his shirt off because we were changing to get ready to go out, we are putting like jackets on and warm clothes. He took his tank top off and I shot him in the middle of the back. He said, "Ow!" Like, "Ow, fuck!" I go, "Oh yeah, crying like a bitch, huh?" Right?
Dude,
Now, parents today, if they saw that, they'd be reporting kids and having them like sent to commitment camps and shit.
We would fucking in the woods directly behind my old house. The woods behind this house are a different breed of woods. But in the first house I was growing up in, up until the time I was 10, the woods behind that house was some serious shit, dude. First off, but there were all these trees that had these vines hanging, and it was, of course, everybody's hero back then was Tarzan. We'd be swinging around the trees and then with them vines like Tarzan. Well, there's this one gully back there in this one tree that had the best vines. The thing is, when you grab the vine, you might not be about 8 feet off the ground. When you swing out over that fucking gully, you're about 30 feet off the ground. And motherfuckers would hit the fucking the floor, man. And it'd be like, well, next time you hold on to that motherfucker. And they come back all wheezing and can't breathe, got broke bones and shit. You know what their parents told them? Well, next time you hold on to that motherfucker, won't you? You let kids do that shit because they learn better.
Out here where we're at, my friend his parents have a ranch out here, right? Off a highway between two mountains. And his dad, you talk about some redneck shit, right? Okay. We're gonna build a watering hole because there's this like river that goes through when they release the reservoir. So we're gonna build a watering hole by taking a backhoe when it's dry and digging it 10 feet deep below ground level. And then imagine how deep it is when it fills all the way up to the edge of the banks. And then he put a 30-foot I-beam. He dug a trench and put a 30-foot I-beam in where it hung out 5 feet over the edge of the embankment as the diving board. And a big ass rope swing, bro. And there were swings from 3 different trees, but people were fucking losing their shit over there all the time. Like it was in the middle of redneck, like literally the kids are walking around and I hear, and I'm like, kids, get away for a second. And I run over to the Kawasaki mule, grab the fucking 410 and shoot a rattlesnake under a rock, right? Like, parents nowadays would lose their shit if they saw their kids anywhere near there.
Dude, I can remember me and that same dude, Joey, we would make homemade, we'd cut down shit, and make homemade bow and arrows. Well, at the time, this is so stupid. This probably should have killed us. But we've been watching Dukes of Hazzard, and if you ever watch Dukes of Hazzard, every once in a while, Bo and Luke would get out the bow and arrow, and they would have fucking arrows with dynamite on them and blow some shit up. So yeah, me and Joey are taking fucking shotgun shells, getting the gunpowder out of them and shit, and kind of hand wrapping these things and putting on it. I mean, dude, we should have fucking blown our faces off.
I haven't even grown up. I swear to you, I haven't even grown up. I don't know what side it's on. Watch this. Fuck my green screen for a minute.
Okay. Please don't hurt yourself, Kenny.
I still want to fuck around and find out with these things, dude.
Dude, the first time I ever saw one of those, dude, I wanted one so bad. And my parents couldn't find an actual boomerang, but they found this thing. It looks like a plus symbol, but it's got the way the blades are angled or something. Anyway, and I was like, this is supposed to work like a boomerang. I was like, okay, cool. And I threw that motherfucker. It was like, I mean, it was back in my face that quick.
One of these days we won't do it tonight. We won't do it here, but one of these days I'm gonna show you. You know my friend Gmo, the rapper, right?
Not personally.
I know, but I've shown you a few videos of him, right? There's a video of him out practicing a boomerang in his hat and everything. It is classic. You watch that, you and me will probably go out and practice boomerangs until we figure it out. Like, it's fun. I'm terrified of these things because I might throw it and hit myself in the back of the head with that shit.
Now, see, I grew up a ball player too, and I got a pretty decent arm. And especially being raised down here, man, I don't know what it is about Southern people, man. Or I will say, especially people who grew up in the woods like me. You don't develop that instinct that says you might want to figure this out before you try this. There's none of that.
No.
So, like I said, that first time I threw that fucking boomerang-ish thing, it was like, bam! It clobbered me because I didn't know how, but
none of us
there was no fear of turning it loose.
None of us knew whether there was an amount of pressure with the hammer that was going to cause damage, but we pulled the bottoms of the stands off Piccolo Pete and smashed them and lit them and chased each other down the street with them. Like, it was just a different era.
We used to chase, some of the fireworks wars we used to have were intense.
Dude, did you have bottle rocket wars where you just held them and shot them at each other?
That same dude, Joey Gunther, almost lost his testicles. That was a brilliant shot, man, dude. We would make little pipes, the PVC pipe. We would melt together like a pistol so we could shoot them at each other. But talking about BB guns, you made me think of this one thing. This same cat, we would lay up in the bushes and just pink people's car when they drive by with a BB gun. Well, of course it had to be me, but that little pink, I happened to that BB gun in no way in hell should have done this. But when I shot at that car going by, I didn't hit the fender like I was aiming at. It hit the back windshield. And it just went, and that BB should not. It was like a miracle. I just happened to hit that motherfucker by complete accident. It wasn't that I'm that good a shot especially with a fucking little Red Ryder BB gun. Them motherfuckers curve. I just happened to hit that motherfucker in the right little spot. And it just went.
Man, y'all making me want to go out and shoot, but I don't have a little Red Ryder anymore. I got pellet guns. You got pellet guns?
I got a pretty serious little pellet gun in there, yeah.
I got a Gammo bone collector, 22 caliber, which is good. And then I have a Swiss Arms 177, and it's actually really accurate. When I was a kid, we didn't start off with, I had a BB gun before I had a 22, but I had a BB gun, and then like 4 months later, I had a 22, right? Because we were allowed to have them. Nowadays. I don't know if that shit happens anymore, but we were plinking with 22s because they were dirt cheap.
Oh yeah.
And shoot. Message.
I don't know. It's from you.
From me?
Mm-hmm.
What did I say?
I don't know yet.
Oh, Lord.
I'm waiting on it to load.
Is it on Instagram?
No.
Okay, because that might be something you might not want to talk about on camera. I don't know what I sent, but I sent some random shit.
I've been hearing little dings in my head, and I realize through the laptop, it's just a little. Oh, it's what you posted in general. I see.
Wow.
But I kept getting these little notifications, little in my ear, and it let me know, and I checked it through my phone, so I didn't have to interrupt what I was doing here. And I was like, "Oh, there you go. Okay, I see."
That's okay. Well, we're getting close to heading over there anyway. Are any of you that
Yeah.
are still in here not in the Discord yet? Because there's a link I posted.
And
and
the
you
cord
should click
of
that.
disc.
Dude,
The dicker.
a quart of disc. What if you just want a half a quart?
Hey, man.
I mean, not everybody
We're
has
wheeling, we're
room for
dealing.
that much disc.
There's going to be a shot as soon as we get over there.
Dude, I'm going to... Wait, who we shooting?
Hey, I've got a couple of prime candidates that actually need a good shooting.
Yep.
And
hey, oh my God. Oh my God.
he's
I
not
don't
gonna
even
help
want
us
to talk about it because we'll have another podcast where we talk about what the fuck are they doing with ammunition? Where did it all go? Why is the price that much and why is it short? Fuck all y'all. It's a plan.
I got a link
It's
for
a plot.
you. I got a link for you.
Uh-oh.
I got a link for you.
Yeah. I'm just saying at this point in time,
I'll hook you up.
I might go back to that box of 12 gauge shells from 1948 that I didn't know whether they were still good. I mean,
That is the one thing. That is the one that's not currently in my arsenal that I really want is
a 12.
Dude, my coworker, and it was another one of those times, dude. If I had known at the time, I had it in the bank account. Now, again, it'd have been one of those times, and Dee's been picking at me for this. I'll be wagering, meals for the month and shit like that against. But anyway, he bought this AR style fucking 12 gauge. Oh my Jesus. And he had the big 50 round drum for it, man. That motherfucker was bad.
I have
and I wanted it so bad, and he bought it, he sold it. Oh.
I have a feeling that, like, depending on what you're doing, okay, you may only need a pump shotgun. If you're looking for home defense, that's it. Right. But shooting with a semi-auto duck hunting, like a waterfowl gun,
yeah,
man, that is fun.
Here's my thing, man.
Fun because the barrel's longer. There's less kick. It's more about aiming and hoping you can get it at that distance, and you got 3 shots to get that thing down.
My problem, with some of the people that say, "Why do you need this gun or whatever to protect your home?" or "Why do you need?" Oh, what's up, JP? Kenny is wigging the fuck out. I don't know what's happening over there. I was going to say, Kenny, and I'm sure you can appreciate this. The problem I have with a lot of these people that ask that question, why do you need this gun? I'll tell you why I need this gun or that gun. Those motherfuckers can get this gun or that gun to enter my home with. If they can get that gun or this gun, I should be able to get this gun or that gun.
Asking a gun lover why they need a gun of this type or that type is like asking a musician why they need more than one guitar or bass.
Right.
It's a dumb question. Stop. Okay, they're all different. Right? And every one of them serve a purpose. And you'll use every one of them at least once. It doesn't matter if you don't use them all the time. That they all serve a purpose. So squirrel.
Yep.
Woo. Squirrel 22.
JP, in case you missed it earlier. Cheers, brother.
Hell yeah. And thank you very much for that wonderful gift that he gets to share on camera. That thing's bad. And now I feel guilty because all I sent you, JP, was red lacy panties.
Okay. Among all the group, it's
that's right. Remember, you guys don't have any guns anymore. You lost them all in a boating accident. I was camping when Sasquatch took the truck.
You'd be
I reported it missing.
No, dude. You'd be amazed. That is almost. I have to air this out, man. On that is almost standard operating procedure down here.
Yep.
So when motherfuckers come looking for your shit, they don't know what you actually got. Motherfuckers will buy shit down here and report that shit stolen, or, it happens. Dude.
We'll get into a 2A show one night because there's some crazy shit. We've watched states saying, no, we don't care what the Supreme Court says. We're going to do what we want. And I happen to live in one of those states. and as a person who looks at society as a whole and the history of the nation, this is a scary time. That if they think they can disarm the nation to do whatever they want to do, because right now they're already doing what they can get away with, and every one of us are paying 3 times what we used to pay for gasoline and 5 times what we used to pay for ground beef. So, I think one night we could do a 2A conversation. That'd be dope.
Oh yeah, man.
I think we got some people that would get involved, and I think maybe I could even pull up some really good videos from some people, and maybe you have some recommendations where you can pull them up and kind of go over that one night.
Yeah. I have a lot. And actually, that's everybody has their things that they kind of champion. I've always said if I was a millionaire, that like I say, if I won the lottery, I'd donate money to St. Jude's and Shriners hospitals. I would also donate money. Funny enough, shit, my brain just went poof. The NRA, and as much fucking grief as a certain side of the aisle gives the NRA, it's like, hey, out of every shooting and every mass shooting there's ever been, I ain't been a member of the NRA. That's not. We teach responsibility with firearms and everything. That they're not. Anyway, of all people, and I'm trying to remember who interviewed him. Charlton Heston. Not Charlton Heston. What's that motherfucker's name? Fuck. He's a shit.
Charlton Heston Heston was the huge dude in the NRA that was.
Somebody fucking interviewed him with all that typical rhetoric you hear, and he just smartly and deftly shot every fucking thing they said to the ground. I tell you, somebody else who's a big proponent that fucking I watched chew up. Oh God, and he was one of those famous interviewers, like a Piers Anthony kind of guy too. But Tom Selleck, of all people, man, fucking chewed this guy up really bad about it one night because they were coming at him with all these, these faux facts about firearms and shit.
I think that might be a
gun, dude.
I think that might be a really good topic, because my story a little bit about my history of my family and what happened, and I know the reality of it versus what they sell it as. Guns don't kill people; people pull triggers, and that's the difference. Guns don't jump up and do it themselves.
Right.
It's
We've talked about this. Every kid in school used to have a fucking shotgun and a rifle in the gun rack in the back of their truck. There was no such thing as school shootings. And we all had fucking guns. My guns ain't hurt nobody, as it turns out. They don't sneak out in the middle of the night and just fucking shoot motherfuckers.
The reality of it is, it was the decision of the person.
Blaming a gun for a shooting is the same as blaming a fork because you're fat.
Right. Or
sorry.
Blaming Ford because a drunk driver hit you.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's just stupid. I mean,
it doesn't make sense.
First off, an inanimate object is incapable of action on its own. Blaming an inanimate object for an action is a fucking insanity.
Yep.
It's fucking insanity.
By the way, if you would like some more fucking insanity, please join us in the Discord, because it's about to get insane over there tonight. Trust me. What? Look at her butt. Hang on, we're talking about butts over here.
Who's talking about butts?
In Discord. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Wait. Oh, here we go. There we go. If you don't know what Discord is, you can go over and see twerking. But you can't. We probably won't be able to post it right now. I'm just saying. Saying. But yeah, we're gonna head over to Discord here in a minute, and I want to thank y'all for being here.
All three
of you. Yeah. The rest of you who left ain't that cool. All right. We'll see you over there. Peace, everybody. Hey.
Love and chicken grease.
Florida State sucks. Stop whining, people. Georgia's gonna
They've
spank
already
you.
got Florida State's already got a built-in excuse too, because they got a lot of players that have decided not to play for the bowl game.
Oh, dude, that's some weak
yeah.
ass. That's some weak ass crap.
Georgia, and what's funny is, I have it. I don't know, because there is a lot. Georgia's got a lot, especially on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of potential draft picks. And I, as of yet, have not heard that anybody for Georgia's sitting down.
They best not be, man. They best not be. That's like kneeling at the national anthem.